Wagwan brethren and sistren. Today we're going to be working on a Ford Fusion. And this is a hybrid model, but it's going to be the same for whatever Fusion you have, whether hybrid or regular. We're going to change the wheel bearings, changing the right front, but it's going to be the same for the left front also. So let's get into it and raise the car up and take the tire off. And please go ahead, like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. Help me help you. Support the channel, the link in the description also. Let's get started. Alright guys, so in the video I'm going to show you how to change your hub. When you're going to need to take the tire off, and it's going to be 19mm, or you can use your lug tool to take the tire off, okay? And also I will be leaving a link in the description for all the tools I use. Alright, let's get the tire off. So we're gonna need to take off the brake caliper and also take off the piston. So what we're gonna do is put some WD-40 on the rotor. So let the rotor sit, and so let that sit and soak so it can release, because right now the rotor is stuck. So that's what we're gonna do. And we're gonna take off the caliper by the bracket right here, one bolt right here, one bolt right here, and hook it up so we don't have strain on the hose. And you have two bolts down here that hold the hub, and you have two at the top, one over here and one on the other side. And so we just need to turn the wheel left to right when doing this job, and it will be easier to get into it. Alright, so let's do that. Start by getting the WD-40 first. Alright, so we're going to spray the nut too, because we will be taking that off. Let's get this in there, get this right there, get that right there. And put some right there and let it sit and soak. All right, so while that's soaking, we can go ahead and remove the bracket. All right, so to take off these two bolts right here, one right here and one down there, they are 18mm. So we're gonna get an 18mm and a breaker bar to remove this right here. And I will leave a link in the description. So basically the drill and this do the same job. So wherever you see I use the drill, just know you can use a breaker bar to get it loose. Like, I just use the drill because I'm at work and I try to work quick, so the drill is work for me. So that's why you see me use the drill in these situations. So I'm just removing the bolts for the caliper with the drill. So the drill make it more easier and fast. Go ahead, remove one 18mm, the second 18mm, and then this will come loose like this. You can just rest that right there. Let it stay there. Make sure it won't fall down, because you don't want it to fall and damage your hose. So better yet, let's tie it up. So I got a iron and I hook it up. I got a hook. I think they sell some caliper hooks, so I don't know if they sell it, because I just think about this and I bend a iron like this and bend this part like this, so get it. That's just me being creative. I don't know if they sell something like that. They probably do. If they do, I will leave a link in the description for it if I can find it. But this helps to support your rotor, so you don't put any stress on your hose, because you don't want to damage that. As you see right here, my rotor come loose by me taking the caliper off. But in your case, it might come loose, it might not come loose. You just gotta get a hammer, knock right here, knock right here, knock right here, knock right here, and it will come loose. But you gotta knock it harder than that. So remove that. Once that is removed, now you can see the 4 bolts from the front, 2 at the top right here, 2 at the bottom down there, and we're gonna remove this nut also. So let me get what size nut is that, and I will tell you. And guys, right here is your speed sensor, which we might need to remove or we might not, based on the on how the hub is built. So let me get the new one and see how the new one built. Alright guys, so based on the new one, we don't need to remove that, because some car have I'm gonna explain it to you when I have the hub out. So let's go ahead and get the correct size for that and remove that. So guys, it is 1 1/4 socket. I don't know how much millimeter it is in standard, but you guys can Google that and let me know in the comment. All right, go ahead, remove this. Alright guys, so I have a impact gun, so that make it easy for me. But in case you don't have an impact gun, you only have a drill, the power brake, the breaker bar, what you can do is, before you take off the rotor, you take off this nut right here. You get somebody in there to press on the brakes while you break this free with the breaker bar. All right, so that's a nice tip right there. So once the nut is off, hit it with the soft part of the hammer, or you can knock it with a board, or put a board over it and knock the board. You just want to knock it like this, so you can get the axle to go back and forth. So like you see, my axle move, so that's good for me. So the next step is to get those 4 bolts back there, take them out. Alright guys, so I already back out one. This is what I have, 15 millimeter, and I will leave a link in the description for the tools as well. So it's not easy to come off, as you see, but you can get it with a breaker bar or a impact gun. Alright, so I got 2 out, and that's basically how you're gonna do it for all of them. To get the socket on, you're gonna have to push the, let me show you. You gotta push back the CV axle like this to get enough space to get the socket to go on the bolt right here. All right, guys, that's what we're gonna do. All right, guys, so once you remove all 4 screws, all 4 bolts, you can just work this out like this. All right, this is the old one. You can hear the bearings. I don't know if you hear that. So that one making noise, making like a grinding sound when driving, or roaring sound I should say. So what you want to do, if you taking out the 2 bolts to the rack and pinion, to the tire end, you want to have the car facing out, facing the way, you want to have the wheel turned so you can have a lot of room. If you're working on the front, you want to have the wheel turned out so you can have a lot of room. All right. Alright, guys, so this is the new hub bearing. Alright, so this, it goes on which either way, so just put it on like this, line up the grooves, and then you can line up the screw like that. So you just want to catch all 4 screws, all 4 bolts I should say. So this one, for some reason I can't push it in, but if I turn it, it's turning, so I'm just gonna turn it until it reaches where it's supposed to go. And then we catch that along with the other one. Oh, there we go. So we just gotta line up the holes. So you want to catch all four screw until when you catch all 4 screw, that's when you want to tighten it up. But if you don't catch all 4 screws, you should wait before you tighten up everything. Okay. Alright, guys, so these will be the torques for the bolts. So for these 4 bolts that I put in the back, the torques is 98 foot-pound, or 133 Newton meter for all 4. All right. And for the hub, for the hub bearing itself, for the axle nut itself, it's gonna be 76 pound, 103 Newton meter. All right, so that's it for that. Let's get back to the car. So as you see, guys, these are the 4 screw which you already saw the torque spec for, and this is this axle nut which you already see the torque spec for. So once you tighten those to specs, you want to go ahead and put on the rotors. So the rotor is installed. Go ahead and remove this right here. Remove the hook. And once like I said, all of the tools will be in the description. Go ahead, install this onto the car like that. Go ahead, catch these two 18mm, and also right here. And go ahead and tighten those up to specs. Alright guys, so double check your work, make sure this is tight, these two right here. Also make sure your 4 screw back there are tight, which I just double check. So once everything is tight, you can go ahead and straighten back your wheel and go ahead and put on your tire. And guys, you're gonna need to do your alignment after this. Once you pull something like that, your alignment gonna need to be done. Alright, go ahead and run these in, tighten them up so they don't fall off. Please go ahead, like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, support my channel with a link in the description. And also leave a thumbs up and leave a sub if you're new. Alright guys, so we use an impact gun and 19mm, 18mm, an 1.25 inch socket. It's probably 32mm, I'm not sure. And we also use an extension along with a 15mm to remove the 4 bolt that hold it up to the steering knuckle. And that's all you're gonna need for this job. I will leave a link in the description for all those tools I use. And also we use a hammer. We use a hammer and WD-40. You don't have to use WD-40, you can use whichever one you have. Whichever one you want to use, you can use. Alright guys, thank you for your love and support. Leave a sub. See you next time. Peace out.